English Leap Podcast.
From Speak English with Class.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the English Leap Podcast, your go-to English podcast for learning English and growing through life. I'm Erin.
And I'm Evan. And today, we're going to talk about a topic that hits every single one of us. Whether you're learning English, building a business, chasing your dreams, or just trying to get out of bed on time.
Yeah, that one still gets me some days.
Same. But here's the thing. No matter what your goal is, consistency is the key that unlocks all of it. And, let's be honest, forcing yourself to be consistent? It's not easy. It's not glamorous. But it's powerful. It's the one habit that builds every other habit.
We're not talking about discipline that feels like punishment. We're talking about the kind of consistency that transforms you quietly. The one that sneaks up on you and suddenly you realize, whoa, I've changed.
Exactly. You go from struggling to get started to becoming someone who just does it. No drama, no debate, no needing motivation every single day.
And that's the truth no one tells you. Motivation. It disappears. It doesn't show up when you need it. But consistency, that's your superpower.
And today, we're going to unpack how to build it, even on the days you don't want to. Especially on those days. And of course, we'll share micro tips along the way for all of you who are learning English.
But before we dive in, quick reminder, we've created a free PDF guide for this episode with the full transcript, grammar, and comprehension questions, and even some reflection prompts to help you lock in everything you've learned. You'll find the download link in the description, or just check the pinned comment below.
All right, let's do this. Let's talk about the very first idea that can change how you see consistency forever. Here's the thing. Most people wait for motivation like it's some magical weather pattern. I'll start when I feel ready. I'll study when I'm in the mood. But that mood, it never shows up on time.
Ugh, tell me about it. If I only studied English when I felt inspired, I'd probably still be stuck on lesson 3 of some old app I deleted years ago.
Exactly. Motivation is like Wi-Fi in the desert. Unreliable and frustrating. What actually works is building systems. Simple routines that run on autopilot. Like brushing your teeth. You don't debate it every morning. You just do it.
Yes. For me, that system was setting a fixed time to shadow English podcasts every morning during breakfast. No matter how sleepy I felt, that 10-minute ritual became automatic. I didn't think, I just hit play.
And that's the magic. You stop negotiating with yourself. You build a system that doesn't ask how you feel. It just runs.
So if you're learning English, here's a little challenge. Say 2 or 3 sentences out loud every single day, even when you're tired. Especially when you're tired. Don't wait for the mood. Build the muscle.
And speaking of muscles, that brings us to our second big truth.
You can't just flip a switch and say, I'll be consistent now. That's not how it works. Discipline is something you grow, slowly, like a muscle.
I used to think I needed this huge, life-changing push to become consistent. But it wasn't that at all. It was showing up, even when I didn't want to. Like waking up 30 minutes early to practice speaking, even if I sounded half asleep.
That's real. For me, it was giving up endless scrolling at night to edit podcast notes or prep English phrases. It hurt at first. But after a few weeks, I didn't even miss the scroll. It was like, oh hey, I guess I'm that girl now who just gets stuff done.
And that's the cool part. You become that person, not overnight, but with reps. Repetition rewires identity.
So here's a micro tip. Pick a time of day where you're usually weakest, maybe late evening or post-lunch, and just do one small English task. That's your discipline gym. Show up, even if it's for 5 minutes.
Exactly. And once that little routine is in place, you can level up. But first, just show up. That leads us straight into point 3.
Here's a secret to making consistency almost automatic. Link your habit to something you already do.
Right. It's like tying your shoelaces before a run. You don't think about it. It just cues the next step.
For example, after I brew my morning tea, I grab my notebook and write one English sentence about my day. That tea? It's not just caffeine. It's my trigger.
I love that. For me, every time I take a walk, I listen to an English podcast. Even if it's just 5 minutes, the walk triggers the habit. No thinking, no skipping. It's just part of the routine.
So here's a fun challenge for listeners. Pick one daily action, like brushing your teeth, pouring coffee, or even switching off your alarm, and attach 5 minutes of English practice to it.
Make it small. Make it simple. But make it linked. Because once that trigger is locked in, consistency no longer depends on your willpower. It just happens.
And that brings us perfectly to the next idea, one that people often misunderstand. The boring part? It's actually the gold.
Yes. We're so used to this idea that progress has to feel exciting, dramatic, or Instagram-worthy. But real progress? It's often repetitive, almost dull.
Right. Like when I was learning English, I thought every study session needed to be this intense, movie montage moment. But honestly, most of my progress came from the boring stuff. Repeating phrases, listening to the same podcast twice, writing the same word 10 times.
Exactly. It's like watering a plant. You don't see it grow right away, but stop showing up. And you'll definitely notice, consistency doesn't always feel like a breakthrough, but that's what builds the roots.
So, English learners, don't be discouraged if your daily practice feels plain. That's a good sign. That means it's becoming part of your life.
And here's a simple tip to keep going. Start tracking your boring wins. Write down every small action, like spoke for 3 minutes, read 1 paragraph, listened while cooking. These wins are small, but together, they build fluency.
And if you're wondering how to keep those boring wins going day after day, this next idea will help you outsmart your future lazy self.
Ah, yes. Micro rules. These are my favorite secret weapons. They take the thinking out of staying consistent.
Yep. They're like little contracts you make with yourself. For me, I had a rule during university. No social media until I finished my English journaling. It was so simple, but so effective.
For me, it was, I can only play video games after I write down 5 new English phrases. And guess what? I started picking up new words just so I could get to gaming faster.
Gamifying your own discipline. I love it.
These rules are small, personal, and they protect your consistency from distractions. You don't need to decide every day. The rule decides for you.
So here's a challenge for listeners. Create your own micro rule. It could be, no Netflix unless I use English subtitles and write down 3 new expressions. Or, no coffee until I practice speaking for 60 seconds.
Make it fun. Make it non-negotiable. Because the less you have to think, the more you just do.
And look, even with these little hacks, some days will still feel heavy. You'll be tired, unmotivated, maybe even sick or stressed. And that's where point 6 becomes a lifesaver.
Yes, bad days are not the enemy. Doing nothing on those days is.
Exactly. Consistency doesn't mean you give 100% every single day. It means that even on your worst day, you still show up somehow.
I remember a week I was super burnt out, 0 energy. But I had this bare minimum rule. Listen to 2 minutes of English audio while brushing my teeth. That was it. and I kept the streak alive.
I had one too. Just reading one sentence out loud before bed, no matter how late it was. It wasn't much, but it reminded me. I'm still in the game.
And that mindset? It's powerful. It tells your brain, I'm not quitting, I'm adjusting.
So to all our listeners, prepare for bad days before they happen. Decide your bare minimum now. Something so small you could do it half asleep.
Because when the hard days come, and they will, your bare minimum keeps the fire alive.
And after all, consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about refusing to disappear.
Yes. And if there's one idea we want you to carry with you after this episode, it's this. Consistency becomes easy when it becomes your identity.
Exactly. It's not about waking up every morning and asking, what should I do today? It's about knowing, this is who I am.
Right? Like, I don't write podcast scripts every week because I force myself anymore. I do it because I'm someone who creates. It's a part of me now.
Same with English. I don't say, I'm learning English. I say, I'm an English speaker, still improving. That identity shift changed everything for me.
Let's give an example. Imagine someone says, I'm trying to read more. That's effort. But if they say, I'm a reader, suddenly every action supports that identity.
Yes. So, listeners, start telling yourself the story you want to live. Say it out loud. Write it on a sticky note. I'm the kind of person who practices English every day, even for 5 minutes.
And when life throws distractions, laziness, or doubts at you, come back to your identity. Not your feelings. Your identity.
Because that's how real consistency is built. Quietly. Daily. Not by forcing, but by becoming.
You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be the kind of person who keeps showing up.
And we're proud of you for doing exactly that. Just by listening today, you've already shown up for yourself.
Seriously, that's what this episode has been all about. You didn't wait for motivation. You showed up. That's what consistent people do.
And to help you keep showing up, especially when you're learning English, Krystal is here, as always, to break down some key words and phrases from today's episode.
So sit back, take a deep breath, and let's go over a few words that'll help you sound more natural and confident in English. Krystal, take it away.
Thanks, Evan. All right, friend. Let's slow things down. Take a deep breath. And let's go over a few special words from today's episode. Words that'll help you speak with more confidence and live with more clarity. You can repeat each one after me. Let's begin. Glamorous. This word means something that looks exciting, beautiful, maybe even a little fancy. But sometimes it only looks that way on the outside. Example, working on a film set seemed glamorous, but it was actually exhausting. Say it with me. Working on a film set seemed glamorous, but it was actually exhausting. Nice. Let's keep going. Sneaks up on you. When something sneaks up on you, it happens slowly, quietly, and then suddenly it's there. You didn't even see it coming. Example, the deadline sneaked up on me and I wasn't ready. Say it with me. The deadline sneaked up on me and I wasn't ready. Well done. Here's another one. Autopilot. To do something on autopilot means you do it automatically. You don't think. You just do it. Example. He made his morning coffee on autopilot. Say it with me. He made his morning coffee on autopilot. Nice and easy. Let's try the next one. Negotiate with yourself. This means having a little debate in your own head. Should I do it now or later? Yes? No? Maybe? Example. She kept negotiating with herself about whether to start studying. Say it with me. She kept negotiating with herself about whether to start studying. You're doing great. Moving on. Flip a switch. To flip a switch means trying to change something instantly. But real change, it usually takes time. Example. You can't just flip a switch and feel motivated. Say it with me. You can't just flip a switch and feel motivated. That's true, right? Let's look at a habit word. Trigger. In habit building, a trigger is a small action that reminds your brain, hey, it's time to start. Example. Hearing the kettle boil was her trigger to start journaling. Say it with me. Hearing the kettle boil was her trigger to start journaling. Simple and powerful. Ready for a fun one? Gamifying. This word means turning a task into a game to make it feel more fun or rewarding. Example. He gamified his workouts by giving himself points for every session. Say it with me. He gamified his workouts by giving himself points for every session. Love that energy. Here's one we all need sometimes. Bare minimum. This means doing the smallest thing you can, and that's okay. It still counts. Example. On her busiest days, she did the bare minimum. One sentence. Say it with me. On her busiest days, she did the bare minimum. One sentence. Still progress. And finally, this one's close to my heart. Show up for yourself. To show up for yourself means keeping a promise to you, even when it's hard, even when no one's watching. Example. He didn't feel like practicing, but he did it anyway. He showed up for himself. Say it with me. He didn't feel like practicing, but he did it anyway. He showed up for himself. And look, you're doing that right now. That's it, my friend. You spoke, you listened, you practiced, and more than that, you showed up for your English and for yourself. That's what real consistency is. Not loud, not perfect, just daily. Take a moment to feel proud, and I'll see you again very soon.
Thank you, Krystal. That was beautiful. I feel calmer already.
Me too. And honestly, that's what this whole episode was about. Showing up, even in the smallest way, and letting that be enough.
So if you're still here with us, listening, learning, repeating, we just want to say, we're proud of you.
Absolutely. Remember, consistency doesn't need to be dramatic. It just needs to be yours, daily, quiet, real.
And hey, if today's episode helped you even a little, consider sharing it with a friend who's trying to build a habit or stick to their English goals.
Don't forget to grab your free PDF guide in the description. It's got practice exercises, a full transcript, and reflection prompts to help you stay consistent after this.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep becoming, and as always,
keep taking your English leap.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.